Alright guys, this is Evan again with Strictly Perform. I have mentioned in a couple videos I was going to do a video on a set of LS1 heads and valves and how you can switch out valves and stuff to get more flow. That may sound a little weird. Usually people are putting in bigger valves into these cylinder heads, and it's not really common to put smaller valves in because it just doesn't sound right. So we'll start off with this head here. The reason this head's more dirty than this one, this was off my 98 Camaro last summer. I just took these off this winter and replaced them with a newer set, a 241 casting. So this is the with the perimeter bolt valve cover. So I got like two sets of these, because when I bought the car, whatever, anyway, doesn't matter. I got two sets of these things, and then this is a 5.3 head. This is the only good one I have. The other one is up there, and it's just jacked. Anyways, so the idea behind this is a 5.3 valve here. This is a LS1 valve. This is a valve that comes out of a 5.3 engine. This is the valve that comes out of a LS1. So we have the 5.3. This is an 862 casting, and this is where I got these 5.3 valves out of. 862s came in on the LM7 or the 5.3. I don't know exactly what years, but they came out on them. I don't know what they even have. I think now they have like the 799 or whatever. But I'll show you really quick what the idea is behind this. I probably should have drawn up some diagrams or something, but you get the idea. You know what? I should probably get something to pop that up. Otherwise, that's just gonna be boring or annoying. I mean, okay. So there you go. You have the cylinder head. It's pretty much got the same chamber as the LS1 head. I mean, they're very, very comparable, if at all different. Now, when you take the 5.3 valve, I should probably get a light so you can see up the port. So you hit the 5.3 valve, and oh crap, it's hitting the wood. That sucks. But you get the idea. I mean, it's crazy because even inside of the 5.3 head, it's still, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got room around the edge. I'm trying to figure out why in the world it's got pressure. Oh, it's because that. It had pressure on it. But yeah, if you look very carefully, let me get something to point at. If you look here, all right, there, you can see it. That gray edge, that almost, it makes it look like the valve's too small. Get that valve out of there. Now, if I take the LS1 valve, and then you notice when you put that in, it covers. So now when this opens, you know, let's say it opens a small amount, when it starts opening, it's already flowing air in. So then by the time, you know, it's getting like that, yeah, the air is coming in, but if you notice right here, it's going to hit this wall and roll in. It should disperse in and atomize the fuel and spread it out evenly so that when it combusts, you're not wasting fuel. It just combusts and the engine uses as much as it possibly can. Now, again, it's not that big of a difference in valve size, but it is big enough that it matters. Trying to figure out a way. I guess that would work. So let's see if we can measure that valve. I guess inches is preferred. I'm trying to figure out how I can, oh, you know what, that might work better. I'll come down here. Let's see here. Okay, so if we find the valves. It says 1.8885 inches. Now if we take out that valve and we put in the LS1 valve, and you guys probably can't see that, I didn't even think of that. Well, I tried anyways, but whatever. So it was 1.888 for the 5.3 valve. See, and this is a 1.999, very close to a 2. So you get this effect where, let's say you have a water hose, correct? And you say you plug it. You put a I'm trying to think. You have a golf ball, and then you have a I can't even think. What's the ball small? A ping pong ball. You have a golf ball and a ping pong ball. If you take a garden hose and you turn it on, and then you put that golf ball over the hole, the golf ball, and then let's say you slowly remove it. As you slowly start to remove that, since it's a bigger object, right away it's not going to start flowing air as fast, or water. So when that golf ball starts moving, yeah, it's going to start coming out the sides, but not as fast. But once you get it fully open, then yeah, it's pouring in. But that really wouldn't affect your engine until high RPM. The same with that. Let's refer that to the LS1 valve. It's bigger, so you're plugging the same size hole, just a little bit bigger valve. You take, let's say the valve, the ping pong ball, and you put the ping pong ball over the exact same garden hose, and it's sealed. Both valves sealed the hose so it wasn't leaking, and then you removed it. Now theoretically that's not possible, but unless you like super glue them together. But you start moving that ping pong ball away, and as soon as there's enough room, automatically there's more room around the side of that ping pong ball than there would be the golf ball, because the golf ball would be covering up more side area. So by the time it's moving out, it can only pretty much roll off the sides of the golf ball, whereas with the ping pong ball, it would pretty much start pouring out. Not immediately, but faster than the golf ball. It's the same concept with valves. Now, putting a bigger valve in a head, now I'm not saying that's bad at all. That's not bad at all. It has its benefits. Also, it has its downfall or whatever. I think if you're making a lot of power, then yeah, but this kind of stuff, it's just a budget deal. If you're building a car and you want to try to eke out, drivability and the most power you can, just do research and try to find stuff and then work with what you got. Obviously don't ruin the stuff, but just work with it and see if you can figure stuff out. I mean, don't be afraid to try stuff. I mean, obviously that's where new ideas come in. Porting is, these heads I've just screwed around with. Wow, these guys will play crap. But porting is something that you just mess around with, and then you just kind of touch up rough areas, and then you get to the point where you polish them and you get into it. But I put 5.3 valves in my Camaro, intake and exhaust, and I changed. Let's see. The only thing I changed over the winter was I changed the valves to the 5.3 valves. I changed. Obviously, I put headers on it, long tubes, Speed Engineering, and then I put a set of castings, the 241s, which comes on like the 2001 or 2000 Firebirds, or Trans Ams, and Camaros. And then I can't even think. That's really it. I cleaned up, I ported the cylinder heads, polished them, I did the valves with the 5.3 valves, intake and exhaust. I haven't really gotten to the exhaust side yet, but I can explain that here in a second because that's pretty interesting. Actually, I'll just do it right now. This here, that is an exhaust valve, and you can see it. See how it divots in, almost like a concave? It kind of like goes in like a bowl. That's the LS1 exhaust valve. This is the 5.3 valve. It's flat, perfectly flat. Now, obviously that's going to take away compression. And that sounds really ridiculous and minute. Man, I mean, you throw that in the cylinder head, and you think that valve right there is indented, right? I'm going to put this out on this other port so you can see it. Oh, come on. There. Alright, so you think that this right here is indented, so automatically you're going to lose flow. Obviously this is hitting the deck of the cylinder head, but you're going to lose compression right here. And that's fine because these motors, you know, have well over 10 compression right up, you know, right from the floor. But if you go over here, and you have this nice flat valve, that right there raises compression. You can see, you know, from here to here how deep these valves set. And I didn't really realize that until I started messing around with them. And I put these valves, the 5.3 valves in, and intake and exhaust, and it may look like, you know, you have this room here around the side, and yeah, that you can, it still seats. It seats down here on this part, which that's fine. And yeah, so there was a video on YouTube somewhere on here of a guy explaining this in better terminology, but it's not up anymore, and I've tried finding it and I can't find it. But yeah, so that's what it is, and you can, I don't know, I mean, if you have a set of tools and you have enough tools to take off a set of cylinder heads, you know, I mean, you can do it yourself. It's not that hard. I mean, there's obviously know-how, look up and read and whatever on how to do it. You need to relap the valves or take them and have them, you know, have a valve job done. I honestly have never done that, and I know there's benefits in that, but I don't trust people. I live in a town where I've taken stuff to people and they just do really crappy work, so I don't trust anyone here in town, so I do all the work myself. But yeah, so that's my theory on the valves and stuff, and I hope you guys learned something. If not, I'll feel like a freaking retard. But yeah, it's a box of valves. But yeah, so, oh yeah, my brother's car here, we got the fitting in for the turbo, and we got this guy running. I don't know why it gets blurry like that. But yeah, I'll post the video of this thing running right after this, so stay tuned, subscribe, like. You guys want any videos, just comment in the comment section, obviously. But thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.